I found this hard to believe, but do you know, you and me are more closely related to, I don't know if you can see my friend here, Arthur, the chimp, than the chimp is related to the gorilla. I find that absolutely unbelievable. That begs the question, why are we so horrid to some of our closest relations? And people like Jim Cronin here at Monkey World have to pick up the pieces. It's true, isn't it?
It is very true.
It's true. Well, the question I have to ask you, Jim, in Monkey World, why are they here in the middle of Dorset? I mean, you'd much rather they weren't here, but they have to be here.
Yeah, where they belong is in Western Africa, is where they came from. They were smuggled from Western Africa by beach photographers to entertain the tourists.
This is the business in Spain?
That's correct, yes.
So they're dressed up?
They're dressed up like people see often, and even in this country. They're dressed up, they're beaten up 16 hours a day, their teeth are pulled out, they're drugged into submission so that they can make money for the photographer. You go up, you see the cute little chimp, you want your photo taken, he's making money. Unfortunately for the chimp, at 5 years old, he's going to die.
So how have you managed to get these out of Spain and back here?
It took 5 years of hard work, of my work here, and 10 years of Simon Templer, who runs a halfway house for us in Spain. He's now 80 years old and still working hard, of working with the Spanish government to get them to enforce
Right, so the government's behind it. What happens now? Is it still going on?
We have at the moment, the Guardia Civil are chasing, which are the federal authorities, 3 chimps in Spain, and got a report this morning of 2 more. But let's keep it in perspective. 5 years ago, there were 200 chimps working in Spain.
So you've got it down to 5?
Well, we'll hear about 5 or 6 now.
Well, that's brilliant. Well, let's talk about these 2.
Sure.
How are they here? Why are they here?
Well, Windsor Safari Park was being shut down, and they reached out to us to help as the best-known place for chimpanzee rehabilitation. We took 6 adults. These were born out of nowhere. All right,
Hang on, what do you mean out of nowhere?
Well, no one knew they were going to be born. And,
actually at Windsor Safari
No,
Park?
nobody really knew.
That was a close pregnancy.
Well, no, it was a little difficult for us. But what happened was that Arthur he was with his mom, and when he came here, we had to take him away. He was dying. Oh, what's the matter? Come here. He was dying. The mother didn't have enough milk, and I think Jess has to go back to Germany.
Jess is not happy.
Jess has got to go. But Arthur was dying when we took him away from his mother. He was 20% underweight. Right. He's the same age as Jess.
But he is not mentally disturbed like the casualties on the Spanish beach, and I've seen some of them. How do you put an animal with the intelligence of a chimp that's been, abused mentally and physically and dignity, and put it back with a group of chimps? I mean, have you got One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest out there all over the place?
No, we have, no, we don't. In fact, it's our specialty. We've developed the techniques to take small animals. Fortunately, we're getting them when they're young. What we were able to do is, just like children, you can manipulate children. They're a bunch of small children, and basically we're taking a small group, we do extensive medical tests, we get them fit again, and then, in effect, we take them and throw them all together.
And they mend themselves?
And they begin to mend themselves. We give them the space. We give them the 1 acre or 2 acres or whatever they need. They're given intensive, medical and veterinary care. And given time, if you put the children, just like children, if you put children together, they're going to have a few little fights and punch-ups, and they do. And they establish
Can they
a
make
hierarchy.
happy families again?
Well, we've been very successful. We have a group out there that they act just like chimpanzees you see in the wild. They've been here 8 years. So yes, we can do it.
What have you learned? It's such a fascinating... I mean, you're a zoologist from New York, and I'm going to ask you why you're here in a minute. But what have you learned studying them? Because you obviously adore them.
Well, yeah.
Well, you were shaking when you were telling me because your enthusiasm. You've got a good dad here.
It's just that... Well, the thing about them is that you never stop learning because they're all individuals. Arthur knows who he is. He has a sense of self, just like a 2-year-old child has a sense of self. And it sickens me to see them abused by anybody. They belong in Africa. Sadly, these can't be. They belong to be let to act like chimpanzees, not like fake humans, not to be taught sign language, not to be anything else but what they are. And that's what we're trying to do with them, make them into chimps.
I mean, I know this is a sort of rather tawdry question, but how much does it he's all right. Yeah, he's fine. to look after all these wonderful animals that you've got? I mean, where does the money come from?
It's coming from our supporters and the fact that Monkey World is drawing a lot of visitors to the park.
A lot in today.
There
which is
are,
good.
and we, we have to hit a fine balance. We have to, we have a gutsy bank. And we had a bank that believed that I could not only rescue chimpanzees and continue the work, but pay them back. And that's a reality of the 90s.
Now, is this a curved ball? You see, some of these chaps are here because they've been exploited in Spain. I could say, are the chimps now earning their what should come naturally by being on display to the public?
No, because the chimpanzees here are given 2 acres, 2.5 acres plus. And they don't have to come up and see you if they don't want to.
They don't have to perform.
No, they don't. In fact, you're here to spend a day. If the chimps want to come up and say hello to you, they will. And they will at some point in the day find you interesting enough to come see. And you'll enjoy watching them be chimps. But the point is that they are so much like you, it's sad. They've paid the price. Their population's being wiped out by using in laboratories because they're like you, by being used as pets because they're like you. And they're dying in the wild because they're like you.
Hey, you've been great.
Thank you very
really
much.
Great. Here's Desmond. He's been looking around. It's my turn now. I can see some of your relations. So, hand him over.
Yes,
Arthur,
and I
thanks
think
for being such a gem.
Arthur should go back.
You're doing a brilliant job.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, darling.
I think Arthur maybe should... Desmond.
Jim, hello.
Hello.
I've just been having a look round here.
He's learning.
It's a chimpanzee greeting with a limp hand.
Exactly right.
No, I have been so impressed, and I'm not saying this to please you. I've studied chimps all my life, and your organisation here, the way you have housed the chimps, is absolutely first-rate. Jim, I'm a little worried. Don't you think it's time for the baby to go home?
Yeah, I think Arthur's been okay, and I think it's time he went inside with Jess and
Okay.
do what he's supposed to do, be fed and changed. Jeremy?
Because I want to talk to you about some of the other animals you've got here. In addition to the chimps, which I know is your main activity, but walking around, I also saw some orangutans.
Exactly right. Yeah.
What's happening there?
Well, there's in fact orangutans, again, a great ape and a very endangered species. The 2 that we have here are well, one was brought to us by a private owner, had been given to our curator, hand-reared, and then the other was brought in to keep her company. So she had nowhere else to go. What's happening beyond that is that we've confiscated orangutans, or we've helped organize confiscation of orangutan in Europe. And we're also going to be involved, and are becoming involved, in orangutans in Taiwan. In Taiwan. So, I mean...
That's a long way off.
There are 700 orangutans being used like chimps are being used, but they're doing it in Taiwan.
I've seen some other wonderful animals here. Beautiful lemurs. 2 kinds you've got here.
Yes. We have ringtails that were basically misfits, had been thrown out of groups all over zoos, and we gave them a large enough area where we took all the losers. And I guess if you're a primate and you're a loser, outside of man being the primate, mind you, we'll take you on board, and we'll give you a nice place to live. And the other lemurs were hybrids, and they weren't wanted because they weren't zoologically important. But we've talked about it, and they don't seem to mind, so I've taken them on.
They look very happy.
They're quite happy they're hybrids, but we won't allow them to breed.
Because the thing that excites me is the space you give them. You see, you give them so much space, it's wonderful. And of course, people have a funny idea, a romantic idea about the wild. They seem to think that when animals are in the wild, they can go anywhere they like, but of course they can't.
No, they can't. No.
They have a limited area they can live in, even in the wild state. So this is getting pretty close to the wild.
It's if you start looking at some of the reserves that are actually going to be created over the next 10 years, you're going to find many species living in 3- and 4-acre areas in the wild. So yes, it is. It's going to become very, very close to it. If we can make it bigger and better, well, you bet I'll think of something, and we'll find it some way, and we'll make it bigger, and we'll make it better. It's never stop, and Simon Templar is the man I mentioned who was in Spain, and for everything we do, for all our primates, he's our inspiration. He's 80 years old. It's never say die. It's never stop fighting, and that's what we do here. We fight as hard as we can, and we won't stop.
Well, his name may be Simon Templar, but for the chimps, you yourself are quite a saint.
Well, I think
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
lot of animals that won't come out in the wet. Why do we?
Ah, the British at their pleasures, yes. Typical British weather. It'll clear up, I have faith.
I know, it's lovely for the garden.
Now, scattered all over the British countryside, there are some special people. Well, we think they're special anyway.
Yes, they actually put their animals first, and I really mean that.
So it's time to tell you now about the Anglo-Meridian Animal Country Award.
Yes, there's a trophy and a cheque for £3,000 for the winner, but it's going to be a hard job. We're not doing the judging, are we?
No, it goes to the personal group of people who, in the opinion of the judges, not us, thank goodness, in the opinion of the judges, have done the most for animals in some way, and you'll hear the winner's name in the final programme in the series. We all know when we eat a hot dog that we're not really eating a dog. We're eating a sausage in a bun. But why is it called a hot dog? To find the answer, you have to go back to the turn of the century, to the Giants football stadium in New York. Because there, people were very fond of eating German sausages. But they didn't know how to handle them in a stadium. And somebody had the bright idea of putting them into a bun. And they were called Red Hots. That was the name of them. But then a cartoonist in a New York newspaper showed a cartoon of a bun with a little dachshund inside it, because, of course, that was the famous German dog, and they were German sausages. And they were roughly the same colour. And, of course, the dachshund is a long dog, and so that's how it became called the hot dog. Personally, I think it's a rotten name for one of the most dignified of all the breeds, the dachshund. Let's meet the traditional, original, smooth-haired dachshund. Now, Lyndon Howard, this is the original dog, which is not as common today as it used to be, is it?
No.
But it's
no,
obviously
you're
very
quite right.
popular with you. What's
Certainly.
the name of this one?
His name is Champion Roletta, Royal Ambassador to Lammerby. Long name for a long dog.
I bet you don't call him that at home.
No, we call him Rupert.
Rupert, that's much better. Okay, Rupert. But they got their short legs, presumably, as diggers.
Yes.
And what was their original function then?
Well, they were originally bred as badger dogs, I'm afraid to say.
I believe that is the origin of the name, isn't it? Dachshund means, in German, means badger dog.
Yes.
Although they've got another name, haven't they? They're called the Teckel.
Yes. I think that's diminutive of Dackel.
Ah, I see. I never understood that. And what do you think is the particular quality of this breed that sets it apart from the other Dachshunds?
Well, I think that, tremendously intelligent and big heart for courage and affection.
Well, now we must move on, because we're going to meet all 6 breeds. I want to try and introduce you to all 6 breeds of Dachshunds. So now, second breed, and this one is the long-haired. Another of the larger breeds, because there are 3 large breeds and 3 miniature breeds. And this is the long-haired, and this one's become very popular, David, hasn't it?
It has nowadays, yes.
This is obviously not such an old breed, because the original one goes back to the 15th century, but this one, when did this start, do you think?
This one, I'd imagine around about the 1900s, early 1900s,
Yeah.
I think they came.
So though the other one's a very ancient dog, this particular breed was produced later on. Thank you, David, very much. Now we come to the third one, perhaps the least known of them. And Jean Matthews has got the wire-haired Dachshund. Very different-looking dog, Jean. What's your particular reason for favouring this breed?
Because he is slightly more unusual and because I like the looks of him.
Yes.
I have got minis at home as well. I've had all Dachshunds, but
Let's have a look at his face. Will you turn his face around so we can
Yes.
see his face? Let's have a look at this face. A very different-looking face, isn't it?
yes, but if you take the hair off, like
Then
that,
it looks more Dachshund.
you have a
But,
Dachshund.
but if we
Yeah.
can, let's see him with his hair on. So let's turn it, when you turn his hair on, there. Now you can see the
Yeah.
very broad hair here on his face. And
This is Herbert, incidentally.
oh yes. Now tell me his full name. I'm sure
want
he's
his
got
full name?
another
Yeah.
impossible name. I'm
Yes,
sure.
he's champion Aquedex on his own at Bannister, which is as good as Lynn's name.
And
But
that's
Herbert.
almost as long as the last one.
Yes, yeah.
And you call him
Herbert.
Herbert.
Yeah.
And is Herbert a very special personality? Is he different from the other
Yes,
breeds?
he's got
you
a
think?
very different personality. Maybe this is because he's got Dandy Dinmont or German Pinscher in him to bring out the wire.
That's what's brought the wire
That's
hair.
what's brought the wire coat.
Yeah.
And he's red, so he's got a very nice red coat, whereas you'll get a lot of brindles, which have got good coats. You don't get a lot of reds with good coats.
So that's what was it, Herbert?
Herbert,
A champion dog.
Yes.
We've got to move now from the big ones to the miniatures, because there are the 3 big breeds, and then there are the 3 equivalent miniature breeds. Now, this is the miniature smooth-haired Dachshund, and Gwen Newbury, you've brought along a very attractive little dog. What's the name?
Delgarth Double Take.
Oh, that's quite short,
Yes.
isn't it? Yes. Delgarth Double Take, but you
Take.
can't use that name at home.
No, he's Jake.
And this size would never be worked, ever, would it? Because it's...
yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes.
What,
These are rabbit tickles.
Ah, so the small breed wasn't just bred for purposes of a small pet. It was bred specifically for hunting rabbits.
For going to ground, yes.
I see. I always thought the miniature ones had been bred just for convenience as pets, but that's not true. There's a specialised hunting
Oh, yes, yes.
function.
They have the same function as
Yeah.
the big ones, yes.
What about the
And they walk
personality?
for miles. And
They walk for miles.
yes,
Oh, yes.
much
No,
further than you can.
that's important, isn't it?
Yes.
People shouldn't think that these are lapdogs. They're not.
No,
No.
no.
If you have a Dachshund, despite the short legs,
Yeah.
you have to walk.
That's right.
Yeah, every day. Thank
It's
you
a
very much.
country dog and a city dog.
Country dog and a city dog.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's move on to the next breed, and this one is the most popular of all 6 breeds.
This is the one taken over from the smooth-head, the original.
And why is that, do you think?
Again, the size, with the long coat, you get a nice one moving in the ring, and they're just so glamorous. They have a nice silky coat, even at night for 9. Lucy's 9 years old. Sheared quite well, got her made up
I
to
haven't asked
champion.
this.
Well, her official name is Champion Wild Star Royal Romance, but it's
Nice.
Lucy for short.
Lucy for short.
Lucy for short, it's easier. When she does something wrong, it's easier to shout.
David, thank you very much. And we
Thank you.
come to the final one now, the last of the 6 breeds, and this is the miniature wirehead. And Judy Squires has brought along, the name is...
Champion Wirehall Oaksey Lady.
Oh, well, that's about the shortest name we've had so far.
Yes, Oaksey for short.
Yeah, Oaksey for short.
Yes, yes.
Was the wire hair put there for some special reason? Did they breed them with wire hair to make it tougher going through undergrowth or
That
something?
is it. Yes, they have the double coat, so that when they get damp, it shakes off. It doesn't sort of go through. Yes.
So that was the
it's a
reason for
weather coat.
developing this wire head.
Yes.
I always thought them as purely as pet dogs, which is presumably how you keep them and how all the other people I've been talking to today keep their dogs, just as pet dogs. And, of course, as show dogs.
Yes,
Yes. All the ones I've been seeing today have been superb specimens, and you all show all your dogs, do all
Yes,
of you?
yes, yes.
And you
we
breed
enjoy,
these as well?
Yes, yes. I just breed the miniatures, and in a small way, and we do very well.
I see the others already waiting for you out there, so why don't you join them?
Thank
and we'll
you.
have a
Yes, we
last
will.
look at the Dachshund. So,
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope now you'll know the difference. When you meet a Dachshund, you'll know which of the 6 breeds it is. And just to remind you, here they all are again.
Oh, it's blowing. Have you left your hat in the car?
I thought you might have a little fresh air this evening. It's
yeah.
a bit bracing, as they say. This is the Snettisham Bird Reserve, an RSPB reserve, and we're going to meet the warden, Paul Fisher, in a moment. I can see him down there with his binoculars in action.
Green trousers.
Yes, and of course you've got an enormous number of birds. You know how many birds come here?
I can't see many at the moment.
No, but on a good day there are 100,000 birds
Wow.
here. Let's go meet Paul.
Oh, Paul. Nice to see you.
Ooh, breezy spot you've got here.
It is, rather.
Where exactly are we?
Well, this is the Wash.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant place, isn't it? It's wild and it's big. It's about 200 square miles. The reserve itself here occupies about 8 square miles. And really, I should say, it's the biggest wilderness left in southern Britain. It's the most important estuary in this country for birds, particularly for wintering and migrating wildfowl.
You asked us particularly to come in the evening, and we've got a lovely evening for it. But why do the birds come in the evening?
Well, really, they're coming in because the tide's coming in. The whole of the mud, there's about 150 square miles of mud out there. That's where the birds feed. And when the tide covers it over, they can no longer feed.
And they know it. They know it's dinner time.
They know it. They know it. They're getting wet, and they need to get their feet dry and find somewhere nice and safe like this reserve to roost.
Can I ask Desmond a question? Do you mind?
What's that?
I think people are totally confused. You know when you see the sort of red arrows going like this and they go like this? Well, it's a man behind the machinery. How do birds do this? How do they know to come here? How do they come in a flock? How do they twitch and turn?
Bird migration is still a mystery, although we're getting there. We're gradually learning the mechanisms, but they're very complicated, aren't they, Paul? Because according to the circumstances, birds will use different migratory mechanisms. I mean, they may use the stars, they may use magnetic fields, they may use visual clues, even auditory clues, sound clues from the Earth below. There are all sorts of methods they use, and we're only really still just beginning to understand it.
How do you feel about it?
Well, that's quite
Same
true.
thing.
It's a science that leaves a lot of room for research, and in fact, the enormous distances that these birds travel is incredible. Just looking out here now, I can see just over to the left on the mud, there's quite a large flock of bar-tailed godwits.
Where do they come from?
They come from Siberia.
Wow.
That's where they spend their summer.
A long journey.
It certainly is, yes. And mostly these birds that are here now will stay for the winter.
What's it like being a warden? It's a wonderful job. I often say this. No one ever tells you at school you could be a sort of chocolate taster or an RSPB warden, do they? How did you get a job like this?
Well, chocolate tasting passed me by as well. I did originally want to be a game reserve warden in Africa. My thoughts were elsewhere, obviously. But now I'm a nature reserve warden in Norfolk for the RSPB, and that suits me fine. I've had a lifelong interest in birds and natural history and conservation.
What's the competition for a job like yours?
These days, there's an awful lot of competition. Yeah.
I bet.
Tell us about the RSPB. What's the main work it does? And give a plug for the RSPB.
A plug for the RSPB. Well, we're the largest voluntary conservation body in Europe. We're a charity and a membership organisation with, these days, about 900,000 members. 900,000 members.
Oh, gosh.
I think were it not for the recession, we'd have cracked the million mark by now. That awaits us, I'm sure. And we exist really to look after wild birds and the places in which they live, and therefore we put a lot of emphasis on getting the habitat and the environment right.
What were your best moments? What are the real moments of satisfaction you get here? Seeing a species you've never seen before, or what?
Sadly, that doesn't occur very often, but that's exciting. The most exciting thing is the regular thing here, which is the tide coming in. Because all the year round we can see enormous numbers of birds. It's no accident that we chose this place to put a reserve, or to have a reserve. We've got a third of all of the birds that are in the wash, and when the tide's right, they all come to see us. All we have to do is get here, and then they come to see us.
Well, thank you, Paul. That's fascinating introducing us to Snettisham. I've never been here before. It's a wonderful place. Thank you, Paul.
It's been very nice, Paul. Thanks for having us on your patch.
Thank you for coming.